Okay, if you were with us on the last video, you saw that we used filter-based feature selection. So this is a transformation you can perform prior to training the model and make it a live, updatable version of building your model that picks the best best however many number of features you want on a real-time basis. And it's a good one to use if you think that your best features may change over time as the data changes. Let's take a look at another one. This one's called Permutation Feature Importance, PFI we call it. So in this case, we can't really run it in real time. So we'll go back and reconnect everything the way it was. And with PFI, we will go into our tools. And I'll just bring that over here. And this is one that you use during your modeling phase that allows you, generally kind of early in your modeling phase, to help you figure out which features are good for which models. One of the advantages this one has over FBFS, filter-based feature selection, is that it actually takes the modeling technique or the algorithm you're using into account. So it requires the model to be trained before running PFI. So we've got the trained model connected. The right-hand port wants some test data. Now, it does not want the training data. Well, it can use the training data you use, but ideally you'd use different data. So we actually have split the data. So we've got some holdout data that we can use. So we've got a trained model. We've got some holdout data. You can see that PFI has two parameters for us to choose. First one is the random seed. And then the second one is which metric do you want to use to measure your performance? Well, we've got a regression going on here. Accuracy, precision, and recall are for classification. Now, the rest of these work with regressions, and we have been focusing on coefficient of determination. So let's use that one as our metric. We'll change the node information. PFI for regression. All right, so let's go ahead and run this one and see how it works for us. We'll come back when we're done. Okay, our PFI just wrapped up. Let's see what we get from that. So this one gives us a list of feature importance. And here we can see smoker is very important in this model, age, BMI, children. And take a look at sex and region. Those have negative values, which means they actually harm our model. They make it perform worse. So with this information, that tells me that choosing those top four probably made the model a little bit better. You can see that the scores for sex and region, even though they're negative, are very small in absolute values. So that's why our R-squared was still pretty close. But I think if you went back and compared the two, you would find that the 4 variable R-squared was slightly higher than the 6 variable R-squared. All right. So this is a good one to have, and by reviewing this, I would then remove region first. So that's another consideration. When you do run PFI, it's best to just remove attributes one by one because their importance may change. PFI does take all the modeling considerations into account, including all kinds of intercorrelations between the variables. So as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that. Let's take region out and then see what that does to our PFI. Okay, let's run this, see what happens. And because we changed our select columns, all these pills will have to run again. So we'll pause until we're done. All right, everything's done. Let's come back to our PFI, see what we've got. And we end up with 4 positives and 6 now, which is again slightly negative. All right, let's see how our squared went. .742577, which I'm going to assume is a slight increase. And then we can do it one more time by eliminating sex and running it one more time. But I think you get the picture. So let's get back to the reading module and see what's up next.